So let's start with the text under the title Polar Bears and Penguins. I will read the text for you, then we're gonna try to summarize it and explain it, then we're gonna have questions on it. Let me read the first paragraph. Not many people have the chance to visit the North and South Poles. However, if you had the opportunity to visit the poles, they would appear similar. Both are places of extreme cold. So this paragraph talks about the dream that a lot of people have, that they want to visit the poles. Poles, as we said previously, they are the cold areas in the world اللي هم الأقطاب الشمالية والجنوبية. So if you have the chance to visit those places, you're gonna see that the North and the South poles are similar. They are not different. Why? Because they both are very cold. So extreme here means very cold. If you went there in winter, you'd probably experience severe snowstorms. So if you go to the poles, especially in winter, you're gonna have a lot of snowstorms, as we said before, very strong winds. However, both are also places of spectacular beauty, with their frozen landscapes of snow, ice, and icebergs. So, if you go there, you're gonna see a lot of beautiful places, a lot of beautiful things in the poles, such as frozen landscapes and ice and icebergs. As we said before, mountains made of ice, you're gonna see them there in the poles. If you went on a special adventure boat trip when you visited, you would be able to observe the unique wildlife of these places, like polar bears, penguins, and seals. You'd be unlucky if you didn't see any seals. So, if you go there, how can we go there? We can use the boat. Yes, it's a boat trip. So we can use the boat to go to the poles, to observe, to see. Here, the verb observe means to see. We can see, we can notice the unique wildlife, the very special wildlife there. And there are a lot of animals, special animals in the poles, such as polar bears, penguins, and seals. You would be unlucky, so it is really a good luck to you if you see seals there. So unluckily, what part of speech of unluckily? It is an adverb, which means unfortunately. The polar bear lives in the cold, snowy Arctic lands in the North Pole. So here we're going to talk about the first animal, which is the polar bear, which lives in the Arctic. So we have Arctic, okay? It is one of the poles. So the poles, الأقطاب, واحدة فيهم اسمه Arctic. So where do bears or polar bears live? They live in the Arctic. It has a thick layer of fat underneath its skin, and this helps to keep it warm. So we're gonna say that those animals which live in the Arctic or in the poles adapted. What do you mean by adapt? Adapt means تكيفت. So they adapted to live in the cold. How? The first thing, that they have thick layer of fat. Fat means دهون. عندها دهون where? Below its skin. Why? Why do this fat is very important to it? Because it helps the polar bears to keep warm. They keep them, they protect them from the cold weather. It also has a thick layer of fur all over its body. So as we can say, or we can see, that bears have fur, white fur, very beautiful fur over its body, including the soles of its feet. So as we said before, the soles of its feet, it is the place or the area that you have underneath your feet. Yes, which allows it to swim in the coldest seas without feeling the cold. So they actually, polar bears, adapted in a way to not feel the cold, to keep their feet warm. Beneath the fur, the skin is black. So if we take off the fur, إذا أخذنا الفرو عن الpolar bears, we're gonna see black skin. So why it's black? We know that the black observes heat, observes, consume, take بمتص الحرارة, because black observes heat. Polar bears are excellent swimmers. They are very good swimmers. Their nostrils can close, so they can swim underneath and underwater and between the ice floes to look for seals, their favorite food. So, as we said, that polar bears are excellent swimmers. They are very good in swimming. And their noses, their nostrils, the holes in their noses can close. So if they swim, their noses close. Why they close? To not get water inside them. So they can swim underwater without getting water inside their nose. And why they swim there? They are looking for their meals. What is their favorite food? It is seals. They eat seals. So polar bears eat seals. And how do they swim underwater? Or what helps them to swim underwater? It's their noses, their nostrils. فتحة الأنف عندهم close when they swim underwater. Unlike polar bears, so now we're going to talk about the second animal, which is penguins. So, unlike polar bears, penguins live in Antarctica. So we have the Arctic and we have Antarctica. الأقطاب الشمالية والجنوبية مقسمة لاسمين, الArctic and Antarctica. So penguins keep warm with thick skin and lots of fat under the skin. So what keeps penguins warm? شو بيحميهم؟ شو بخليهم دافين؟ The thick skin. Their skin is very thick and lots of fat, and there is a lot of fat under the skin. Penguins have dark colored feathers on their back. So feathers عليهم ريش لونه very dark, which absorb heat from the sun to keep them warm. So as we said about polar bears that they have a black skin, also the feathers on the penguins are black. Why? To observe, to consume, to take the heat from the sun, to keep them warm, of course. Like polar bears, penguins are excellent swimmers. Also, penguins can swim very good. They have webbed feet and they streamlined bodies for powerful and fast swimming. So here, how do they swim? What helps them to swim very well? They have webbed feet. الأقدام عندهم webbed اللي هي بيناتهم الجلد اللي بيساعدهم على السباحة. And their bodies is streamlined, which gives them power to swim. They have different diets, but in general, they all eat a variety of small fish. So what do they eat? They eat small fish. What about polar bears? What is their favorite food? It is seals. Let's go to questions now.